Selectmen's meeting, and welcome everybody to the new year. And I know we had a great year last year, and I hope we just can continue it, because, and I want to thank you for your support, and David, and Secretary, the whole 9 yards here. It was a great year, and I think we stand out, and we see with other towns, we're paying our bills, and what I see and what I read, we're doing very, very well, and I hope to continue the pace. Okay, please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, moving along, we have two fine gentlemen from Bridgewater State University, interns there, Jordan Remy and Anthony Hebert. And I'm kind of, welcome you aboard there, and maybe you can tell us a little bit what you do in this community here. And either one.
I'll go first. So my name's Jordan Remy. So I'm currently working in the Selectmen's office, doing my first project is the analysis of the collective bargaining agreements relative to employee pay and benefits. So that's what I've been working on for the last few months, analyzing the DPW, police, fire, and clerical employees.
Oh, very, very good. And Anthony?
I'm Anthony Hebert. I'm working in the Conservation Commission with John Delano, and I'm primarily working on an open space and recreation plan that's going to the state. And what I'm mostly doing is creating a poll, a survey that's going out to the residents of West Bridgewater to get their input on what kind of things for open space and recreation they would like to see in the town and their top concerns in that area. And then we're going to compile the results, include it in the proposal, send it to the state in the early spring, and hopefully get the town a good amount of grant money so we can build more facilities or do whatever the town would like to with money.
Very good. I had an opportunity to talk to the building inspector before the meeting here tonight and asked him how things are going. He says, we're on fire. I mean, there's a lot going on in this community right now, and as you probably can attest to, because you're right there with us. I want to thank you for the service to the town. It's been great. David, board members, you got any comments?
Well, I think it's a great program that David brought on board, and I hope we continue it, and I hope we get as fine interns next year as we have this year. So, David, thank you for all your research and the office staff, and for bringing the interns to us and getting a lot of work done that maybe wouldn't have got done or not as quickly without your help. So thank you very much, and welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Anthony?
Not much. Thank you, guys. If you need anything from us, feel free. I hope you're learning as much as we're learning from you.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, so Mr. Chairman, I just want to say again, thank you to the board. As Selectman Lawrence said, it was something we just brought on over this past year. I want to say thank you to you for your support in getting the funding at town meeting. I think it's an excellent opportunity that's not been utilized in the past, that we have a first-rate state university right on our doorstep. We've never utilized their resources in the past. So not only does this provide an inexpensive service to the taxpayer, we can bring people on to provide the research that they're doing. It also gives them an opportunity to be able to learn what West Bridgewater is about, and who knows, maybe become future employees at some day down the road. And at the same time build what I'm hoping to be a really good long-term relationship that can only bear positive, fruitful returns with the state university. So again, thank you. They've been really good, and I look forward to continuing it for years to come.
Okay, and thanks again from all of us, because you've done a great job for us, and I hope someday you extend it maybe to private clubs. We could use some help too.
Eldon, I'm not sure if Kitty Doherty had anything to do with these two interns, but she's been very instrumental in a good relationship with the university for many years.
Right.
This is just bringing it to the next level. So again, thank you for David and Kitty for her ongoing efforts also.
Okay, there's a lot of thank yous going around here. That's good. Okay, thank you for coming in too. It's now 7:05, and the San Jose Rod and Gun Club Board of Directors change of beneficial interest. I'm on the Board of Directors over there, so I'm going to refrain because of any conflict with Jerry, the vice chairman, and he will be running that part of the meeting.
Okay, next on the agenda is the Samoset Rod and Gun Club change of directors. David, is everything in order?
Yes, everything is in order.
Okay, and we have the new director on board. Would you like to introduce yourself?
My name is Nils Anderson. I'm the new president of Samoset Rod and Gun Club.
Okay.
We have a lot of good things going forward this year. I've got a great group of officers and board of directors working with me, which is actually a nice plus. A lot of educated people, business owners, people working in law enforcement, as well as people working in courthouses. So it's a great mix of good minds with a good direction, which is something that's been lacking a little bit. Everybody's rallying around everybody, and we are on a good forward direction.
Great. Now, other than being the cute little red building on Matfield Street, a lot of people don't know what the Rod and Gun Club does and what's available to the public. I know I'm not sure if you still have pizza nights and whatnot, but there is a few nights a week or a few nights a year that the building's open to the public, and you want to...
Yes, we do. We do pizza nights for the public as well as for members, and that's been going very well. And we also do Sunday morning breakfast. Most of this stuff runs until the hot weather of the summer, and then we typically close the kitchen down. So that stuff has been running very well, and we've enjoyed the people that have been showing up. Now we have people staying longer times. We have more families showing. We have people that are enjoying what we offer, which has helped with the rentals of the hall. People realize that it is a family-friendly environment, and it's worked out very well. As well as we offer, we do the bird program separate from that, which is state funded, so we release about 120 pheasants a year. I've been doing that, Bob Mitchell's been doing that for about the last 20 years, and 120 pheasants is a nice number, which is wonderful for the environment. We also do elderly dinners, which has worked out very well. Kids' Halloween parties, kids' Christmas parties. We're bringing back the kids' fishing tournament. We have members that own bait shops, tackle shops, and whatnot. They're willing to donate their time and their stuff. We have members that own technology companies that will set us up with the electronics we need when we run these functions. We have places that are stepping up, offering their facilities on different ponds and whatnot, so when we get this rolling. The only problem with that is, now that we stepped up and said we're doing it, I have to do it.
Yep.
But that's a wonderful thing.
Great. Well, the Open Space and Recreation Commission here in town is always looking to team up with people, and sounds like you guys would be a good fit, so might be something good to team up with. All right, do we have any other questions for the applicant? I'm only asking the questions because a lot of people do watch our show, watch it on TV, so give you a little commercial there. And what does someone have to do to join the Rod and Gun Club?
Typically, to join the Samoset Rod and Gun Club, you have to have, either a fishing license, hunting license, or a mass pistol permit. Otherwise, you're not, because we are a sportsman's club. We're not technically a social club, we are a sportsman's club. So that would be the requirements. Then you typically come down, if you know a member, you have to be sponsored by at least 2 members. You'd come down, take the application. The application would get reviewed through the board and the body. And therefore, if you meet the requirements, then you become an associate member. After completing your 20 hours of service, you become a member. To become a member gives you the right to vote or whatnot. And we do have associate members. If you don't want to have a right to say, to voice your opinion, that is your right. I would rather have people have the power to voice their opinion.
Yep.
Makes my life easier.
Great. Thank you. Anthony, you have anything?
I don't have any questions, no.
Okay. I'll call for a vote for approval for the change. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Okay, I'll second. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
All right, Eldon, back to you.
Okay, thanks, Jerry. Okay, warrants and boards, license renewals, common viculars license.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the application process for the renewal for the common vicular garage repair, Class 1, 2, 3, transfer station permits, and public amusement permits, other than those that may have outstanding issues.
Okay, do we have a second to that?
Second, I just have one question. I don't know if you'll know the answer to this, David. Valerie's here. Do you know why Dunkin' Donuts only has 1 location listed? Go ahead.
I think it's because the others are gas stations, so they're not serving people.
Oh, okay.
Seating, no seating.
Okay. All right.
Any other questions?
No.
Harry?
And just to be clear, all taxes are paid, fees are paid, paperwork is in order, so there are no outstanding issues, and all sites have been inspected as well.
Right.
Okay, so you made a motion, Jerry, is there a second?
Second.
More discussion, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, so approved, and thanks for all the work, and I know, done all the work over there. And of course, David, who was this liquor policy update.
Yeah, so Mr. Chairman, these are just some minor tweaks. Mallory was going to be here this evening, unfortunately, she's out ill. But basically, there's 3 minor changes. She thought that this would be the appropriate time for the board to update its policy since you had just approved all the liquor licenses last month.
Yeah.
On page 17, you will see that there are some minor grammatical changes because ABCC has updated the names of their forms, so we're looking just to be consistent with that. On page 19, there is a reference to the fact that employees who work there, who are working, are not allowed to drink on premise. That's been a long-standing policy of the board. However, it references state law. Turns out that that is not state law. So again, we just wanted to clean up the language to make sure that it was more legal and appropriate. And on page 20, there was some changes to the dress code. Again, it's saying the exact same thing, but the way that it was defined prior to, we thought making these minor adjustments actually made a little bit more sense. It was more appropriate.
Okay, any questions or any other changes you might want to make?
I do have a question on the dress requirements. We do have one establishment in town that has a tiki outdoor beach bar. And, if they have such activities as volleyball or whatnot, I don't see wearing shoes as a necessity if you're enjoying a cocktail or something outdoors. So, just my opinion.
If you're so inclined, maybe what we do is we amend it where the shoe requirement is only for indoors.
Sure, absolutely. That would make me happy.
Yeah, I see no reason not to do that.
Any other changes?
With that amendment, I have no other issues. No hearings required.
I have no issues.
Have a motion, Nancy, to approve them as written?
As written with the
With
change.
the amendment.
With Jerry's amendment, yeah.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So voted, thank you. Okay, next thing is the third DPW Services 2017 contract awards. Have in front of you.
Motion to approve the surge contracts.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions? No questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous. Okay, all right, moving along, approve the minutes of November 16, 2016.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Except for review the meeting minutes of December 14, 2016.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? There's none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, so voted. Ratify the compensation change for the confidential secretary, Tracy Aldrich.
So moved.
Second.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Ratify interim highway superintendent contract.
David, could you go over that real quick?
Absolutely.
Very brief, if you would.
Yep, no worries. So the next 3 items are basically all kind of the same thing. Len Graff has retired as superintendent because it happened kind of at the last minute. We didn't have the opportunity to be able to go through a formal hiring process. So what I'm asking the board to do is to name Sean Anderson as the interim highway superintendent. He would be interim. Eventually, you'll go through a formal hiring process, but during that time period, he would be paid, as his past practice, an additional stipend from being a union member. However, because he's going to be empowered to discipline, he can't technically be in the union, so that's why we're putting him on a separate contract. The next item on your list will be to ratify the MOU with the highway union, which basically encompasses what I just said. and allowing an interim highway foreman, which would be Mike Hutchinson.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the request.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, so voted. Thank you. Communication reports from boards, commissions, and town officials. Site plan review, amend special permit zoning board of appeal, 0 Pleasant Street.
Mr. Chairman, may I interrupt for one moment?
Yeah.
I would ask you just to take a formal vote to ratify the MOU and then take a formal vote to appoint the interim highway foreman as Mike Hutchinson.
Okay, so it's a separate vote. All right, to ratify MOU, the first one.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Motion to
So
appoint
vote.
Mike Hutchinson as interim highway foreman.
Is there a second?
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So voted.
Thank you
Okay.
very much.
Thanks, Dave. Site plan review, special permits, zoning appeal, 0 Pleasant Street.
So this is an existing billboard that sits on Route 24 South heading towards Taunton.
Yeah.
It has already been erected. It has a current special permit, and it is operating as such. However, a handful of months ago, a billboard that is going to be erected on the Classy Masonry site is going to be located within 50 feet of Route 24. And so this one here, which is owned by Mr. McLaughlin, is looking to do the exact same thing. It should be approved at ZBA because you have to have consistency and there's no reason not to provide it. At that time, you did have a couple of requests from the board, most notably Selectman Lawrence. You had requested that we maybe make sure that we don't have it on at all hours of the night, so that way residents across the street do not see the lights. The zoning board of appeals did take that under consideration and put a restriction on use, and I anticipate they will do the same on this one as well.
Mr. Chairman, for personal reasons, I'm going to recuse myself from this vote, though I have no financial interest or personal interest in this project.
Okay. Is there any amendments or anything else you want to add to this, Anthony?
It's currently being used, right? The billboard that's there now?
It is, it's currently in use, correct.
And is this the... Just trying to picture which one it is. Is it behind the D'Angelo's offices? Is that
No.
no?
I apologize, I don't know the area well enough. All I can tell you is that when you jump on Route 24 heading south, it is the only billboard south of Route 106 on the southbound side. So as you're traveling south, you'll see it on the right-hand side. It is right past Classy Masonry.
This was an electronic billboard
That is correct.
for a short term. Now it's a traditional billboard.
Oh, really?
That is correct. So the issue is that they had hoped to move it closer to Route 24, and then they had pulled their application. In the meantime, they were unable to sell ad space. They claimed that they were losing money, so they went to a static board, and for some reason, that was more advantageous to them. They believe that now, since the ZBA has made a ruling on a separate billboard, that they will now be able to be allowed to move their board closer, which will allow them to be able to sell space and make the billboard back into electronic use.
Do you know what the original date was that the billboard was put up? Is that in here? It's probably in here.
I'm going to say the original billboard was probably approved in 2015 and has been an electronic billboard till September 2016.
Oh, it's that new? They're already moving it? Okay, motion to approve, for site plan to review.
Yep, actually, it's
Send it on to the Board of Appeals?
correct.
Yeah.
You don't want to make any changes or anything that's,
No.
or is it? Okay, I'll second that motion. Any discussion, any more beyond that? All those in favor?
Aye.
One abstention?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. Moving along, tree removal memorandum from Chris, Forestry Superintendent.
So every year, the tree warden provides a list of trees to be removed and/or trimmed. There will be 85 trees to be removed and 56 to be trimmed. And so he is asking for the Board of Selectmen to take a vote to approve his request.
Okay, there's been quite a lot of that been going on the last month or so out there. Any questions on that?
Yeah, for clarification, the tree warden, Chris wears two hats in town. One's the park superintendent, the other is the tree warden. Forestry superintendent and tree warden, which is an elected position. Why does he have to ask us for jurisdiction to take down the trees if he's the tree warden?
Sure. Chapter 87, Section 5, which he cites, I reviewed the law earlier, actually specifies that the tree warden, after a public hearing, can take down any tree in town, or with approval of the chief executive officer in the town, mayor, board of selectmen,
Okay.
does not have to have a public hearing and can remove all trees. And so this here allows us not to have 85 public hearings to remove trees and 56 or 65 to trim them.
Okay. And it's a nice courtesy he extends to us to asking, so thank you.
Okay, any other questions about that? Is there a motion to approve this?
So moved.
Second.
Any other discussion? If there's none, all in favor?
Aye.
So voted. Correspondence from the public to determine a course of action. I just like, from the board standpoint, all the decorations around the town hall, and the highway, and everybody that was involved in it, it looked real nice out here during the Christmas season and New Year's. The board have any comments at this time?
I have none.
No.
Okay. The audience is still out there, so they don't have any comments. David, you have any comments?
If you're not,
Okay, so moving on, town administrator's report, I guess.
thank you, Mr. Chairman. So first on the agenda is in reference to the Girl Scouts request to use the town hall parking lot. Again, the policy has been put in place a handful of months ago, where you've provided me the opportunity to provide authorization, as long as I also provide an FYI to the board at the very next meeting. This is that FYI that in the month of January and February has been past practice. The Girl Scouts will be conducting their fundraiser for 4 hours each one of those Saturdays and Sundays, selling Girl Scout cookies.
David, could you see if you could coordinate with the police department to give them access for the restrooms,
Sure.
if that's feasible?
Mhm. Absolutely. Second is just an FYI as well, although I've spoken to each one of you individually. I know that there's been a lot of attention towards this matter that Officer Desmond, who was terminated for just cause by this board more than a handful of years ago, on remand from Superior Court, Civil Service has upheld your decision and denied their request for an additional appeal. So this marks now at the third level that the Board of Selectmen's decision has been upheld by either Civil Service or a Superior Court. Mr. Desmond does have a 30-day appeal process, and he will be able to have until January 9th to file an appeal or ask for an extension. So obviously, I'll keep the board informed, but again, you terminated for just cause, and that decision has been upheld. And the last on the list is that in 2010, although I was an administrator at the time, we had some pretty serious flooding. There was 3 areas of major concern. One was on Maple Street, one was here at the Town Hall basement, and War Memorial Park was flooded as well. At that time, the federal FEMA allowed funds to be utilized, and the town received most of its funds. However, there was still $1,151 outstanding. So I signed on behalf of the administration, and that money should be forthcoming to the town. Again, just an FYI to let you know that those final funds will be released. And that is the report.
Thank you.
Okay, David, maybe we should say a little bit, we had just an accident involving one of our cruisers here, and it was very fortunate that the officer wasn't seriously hurt.
You're absolutely right.
And that's been adhered. I talked to Tom Souza, and they don't really know, insurance company, I guess, has got to look that in now, because over to Raleigh's there, whether that's gonna be a total or not. And that's one of our big calves there, and that's a lot of money. I mean, and I know that was the one I think that got hit before in the front, and now they got the rear end collision. It's very, very fortunate that he wasn't seriously hurt.
I agree.
Mr. Chairman, it should also be noted that he reported for work the next day, despite the fact I'd still be shaken and
Very, very,
rather upset.
Very, very sore and
Sergeant
upset,
Craven reported for duty the next morning.
that's very good. Anything else today? Or not? And I want to thank everybody for listening and watching us. And like I said, I started a Happy New Year, and we'll see you at our next meeting.
Good night.
Good night.